since 1985. Most of the surrounding subdivisions are single-family residential with some attached houses. PR is intended to provide flexibility for different types of residential development and encourage more imaginative solutions to environmental problems. There are some steep slopes on the property which make the PR zone appropriate to consider. Suburban residential areas are appropriate for primarily single-family residential development with lot sizes generally less than 1 acre. These areas may feature a range of lot sizes and housing size and styles. This property is within the planned growth boundary, and the suburban residential follows planned growth, and the rural living place type follows the rural growth boundary. There is a TVA easement that runs through the property. It's approximately 150 feet wide, so no structures are allowed within the easement. The recommendation is to approve the planned residential zone up to 4 dwelling units an acre because it's consistent with the comprehensive plan in the surrounding area. Are there any questions?
Okay, thank you, Whitney. We'll move on to your next one, agenda item number 45.
So this is a rezoning on 10.46 acres from agricultural to planned residential up to 7.5 dwelling units an acre. It's located on the south side of Millertown Pike, east of Presnell Road. So the PR zone is appropriate on this property because there's a blue line stream on the property, which allows the clustering of lots. And houses, duplexes, and multi-dwelling structures are allowed in the PR zone, which is consistent with the surrounding development. While a lot of the properties in the immediate area are zoned agricultural, many of them are non-conforming to the minimum 1 acre lot size because they were created prior to this zoning ordinance. Most of the lots are, all these smaller lots are approximately 0.25 acres. This property is within the suburban residential place type. When the proposed district is partially related to the place type, one of 3 conditions shall apply. One of these is that the proposed zoning is compatible with the current zoning of adjacent sites. So we're recommending PR up to 4 dwelling units an acre here. We think that's more compatible with the current PR up to 4 dwelling units an acre of the adjoining site to the east. So in this case, this property is within the urban growth boundary with the rural boundary across the street. The recommendation was to approve planned residential up to 4 dwelling units an acre because it's consistent with the comp plan and change of conditions. Are there any questions?
Have you had any discussions with the applicant regarding 7.5 versus 4 units at all?
Yes, they said they didn't quite need 7.5, but I think they need closer to that than to 4 dwelling units an acre for what development they want to do.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so this next item we've added at the request of Commissioner Adams, just to provide an opportunity to ask any additional questions. This is number 46, it's 4X25RZ.
I was trying to, sorry.
That's okay.
I was trying to pull open KGIS, but I don't.
Yeah, we don't have a formal presentation on this one. Let's see, I'll pull it up too.
Does it drag? That one? Okay.
This one's along John Sevier
Yes.
Highway.
So I don't have a formal presentation. The request is to go from agricultural to CA, the general business zone. It's within the CMU place type on John Sevier. And we are recommending approval of CA. And it's kind of generally an industrial and commercial office use area. The lot is currently forested, kind of with some wetlands over here on the east side. I don't know if there was any specific questions.
You just mentioned the wetlands on the east side. Does
Yeah.
that preclude any kind of activity there because of the wetlands, or
I don't know,
does it?
engineering, what's the requirement?
Yeah, yes, any work in that area would require a U.S. Army Corps of Engineer permit, so that they couldn't fill it or work in it without a permit from them.
Yeah, it does look like it's been disturbed in the past, and looks like it kind of followed where the wetland was, that part remained undisturbed. So, but no, it doesn't look like anything was ever built.
I believe there would also be a 25-foot buffer around the wetland that would be do not disturb.
Okay, that's all the ones we have identified. Are there any other items that you all wanted to discuss before we conclude today?
Yeah, Amy, I'd like to ask about agenda item. I think it's Samuel's. I know they were requesting several things, including a rezoning to CG1. You know, I know that property just recently been developed. I think planning had granted a special use a few years ago. I didn't know kind of what, do you know more information about
Yeah.
the reason for all that?
This one is, the applicant has requested postponement, so they did request after our deadline. So it will have to be voted on at the meeting, but they are considering some other options, which include probably potentially another residential zone, because we are recommending denial on this one. So there's still kind of yet to be determined on what they might come back with, but they have requested that you all vote on a postponement in 30 days.
Okay.
Are there any other ones?
We're adjourned. Crystal's out too.
Mic check.
We're gonna regret this in a few years. She had almost a full ride scholarship at the University of
Mic check. Track number 1454, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 seconds. Track number 1454. Where you want me to?
I'll take care of it. Yeah.
Robert schedules it.
Yeah. See, that gives us that schedule. The only thing that shows us, it's, they don't, always communicate fast. I don't know, he's doing no schedule now. But I'm sorry. But let me change your, see it.
Okay.
Now there's so many invitations for meetings.
Okay.
So I clicked on yes. Well, for March, I said, hey, we don't need the meeting room for March. When I deleted it off of there, it deleted it off of Louise's calendar. So she had to add this back on to do everything. That was last week. So.
Good morning, everyone. I'm always much louder than I think I'm going to be. Glad to see you all today. We're going to go ahead and call this to order. And if we could start with roll call, please.
Michael Biddle, Crystal Gibson, Rusty Goddard, Stephen Goodpaster, Marcus Hilliard, Catherine Ogrode,
Here.
Carletta Randall Smelser, Debbie Stafford,
Here.
Byron Wood, Damon Rawls, Marcus Kennedy, and Greg Stinnett.
And Mr. Biddle, if we could ask you to lead our devotion today.
Good morning, everybody. Morning. Thank you, Chairwoman. Today I read from the book of 1 Peter, chapter 5, verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. It is such an honor to be part of this committee, and I don't think we could do what has been put forth by our neighbors and our friends in the county if we don't submit to God's will over our will. And I know the first two words, be humble, humble yourself, is so powerful. And I would just share with you, I'm at my best when I humble myself to God, and I'm at my worst when I think I've got it all under control. I know none of you know what I'm talking about at all. No, I'm the only one that, yeah. When we're at our best, when we look to him for guidance. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And Carletta, if you would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. All right, and we need to make a vote on the adoption of the agenda today. If you want to take a moment and look over it. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
All those in favor, aye. Any opposed, no. All right. Next is the approval of the minutes. Anyone see anything incorrect or any changes that need to be made? Would anyone like to make a motion for approval? All right, all those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye. Any opposed, no? All right, and old business is pretty much what our approval of minutes has to say. Does anyone have any new business they would like to present? All right, no new business. The next thing to talk about is our next meeting, which is scheduled for Wednesday, August 13th, in this room at 8:30 a.m. And there being no new business to discuss, anyone like to make a motion that we adjourn? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? All right, well, thank you. Now I get to use my gavel. We're adjourned.
time. She is there, waiting for me back in that Memphis town. Feel that rail car shake and sway as it moves along its way. Heading back to Memphis, heading back to Memphis, heading back to Memphis on my love. Heading back to Memphis.